why does he care where you've been? He doesn't. Not really. Your evening is none of his business, and it has nothing to do with the reason he stopped you. So, when he asks, where are you coming from? Understand what's actually happening. That's not conversation. It's a tool. The officer is fishing. He's hoping you'll place yourself somewhere, anywhere, that gives him a reason to turn a routine traffic stop into something bigger. A ticket becomes a search. A warning becomes an investigation. And it all starts with a question so casual you don't even register it as dangerous. That's the whole point. It's designed to sound friendly so you'll answer on autopilot before your brain catches up. And the moment you do, you might have just handed him exactly what he was looking for. Because here's what your answer actually does to you. Here's why answering is so risky. Almost any place you name can be turned against you. Say you're coming from a bar or a restaurant or a friend's barbecue. Congratulations, you've just introduced the possibility that you've been drinking. Now the officer has a reason to look closer, to ask you to step out, to start a DUI investigation. Say you're coming from a part of town with a reputation, and now he's thinking about drugs. Even a totally innocent answer can become, the driver admitted being in the area of. Do you see the trap? There's no safe answer because the danger isn't which place you name. The danger is that you answered at all. Every location gives him something. A bar gives him alcohol. A neighborhood gives him suspicion. A vague answer gives him a reason to think you're hiding something. Your response is the key that unlocks the next step. The request to search your car, the call for the K9 unit, the field sobriety test. You handed him the excuse, wrapped up and polite. But you might be thinking, can I even refuse to answer? Or does staying quiet just make things worse? So let's clear this up, because it's the part that matters most. Legally, you are not required to tell a police officer where you're coming from. The only things the law requires you to hand over at a traffic stop are your license, your registration, and your proof of insurance. That's it. The question about where you've been is optional, and you are allowed to decline it. But here's the part almost nobody knows, and it's critical. Simply going quiet is not enough to protect you. In a case called Politeness versus Texas, the Supreme Court ruled that staying silent on its own doesn't automatically invoke your rights. If you just sit there and say nothing, that awkward silence can actually be used against you later. To be protected, you have to invoke your right out loud. You have to say it. The difference between silent and exposed and silent and protected is a single spoken sentence. So the question becomes, what exactly do you say to decline without just sitting there in a silence that works against you? Here's the move that flips the entire interaction. Instead of answering his question, and instead of freezing up in an uncomfortable silence, you ask him a question back. Calmly, politely, you say, "Officer, am I being detained or am I free to go?" That one sentence changes everything. It's not an admission of anything. It's not rude. And it takes all the pressure that was on you and puts it right back on him, because now he has to define the situation legally. He has to pick a lane. If he says you're free to go, then you go. The fishing expedition is over. If he says you're being detained, that tells you something important too. This just got serious, and from this point on, every word you say carries real weight. Either way, you've turned his casual little trap into your filter. You've taken back control of the stop with a single calm question. Now you understand the concept. But in the actual moment, heart-pounding, you need the exact words in order. So here they are. Here. Let's turn all of this into a script you can actually remember when the window's down and your pulse is up. When he asks, "Where are you coming from?" You say, "I'd prefer not to answer questions, officer." If he pushes or asks again or leans in harder, you say, "Am I being detained? Or am I free to go?" And if he tells you you're free to go, you say, "Then I'd like to go. Have a good night." That's the whole thing. 3 calm sentences. Through all of it, you still hand over what the law actually requires. Your license, your registration, your insurance. You keep your hands visible. You stay polite. You cooperate with everything you're legally obligated to do, and you decline everything you're not. None of those 3 sentences is illegal. None of them is rude. And not one of them gives him a single thing to write in his report. But there's one belief that can undo all of this. One instinct that makes people talk when they shouldn't. Let's kill it right now. Here's the mistake that trips up good, decent people. They think being polite means answering everything, that declining a question is somehow rude or suspicious. So they talk, because they don't want to seem like they've got something to hide. But being respectful and answering every question are 2 completely different things. You can be calm, polite, and cooperative with what the law actually requires, handing over your documents, keeping your hands where you can see them, speaking without attitude, and still decline the fishing questions. Those 2 things live together perfectly. Cooperating with what's mandatory keeps you out of trouble. Answering what's optional is what gets you into it. Your politeness is your tone of voice, not a confession. Being friendly does not mean surrendering your rights, and a good officer will respect a calm, informed driver who knows exactly where the line is. So the next time you see those lights and that friendly question comes through your window, you'll know it for what it is. Not small talk, a choice. And now you know exactly how to make it.